Welcome back, everyone, to Final Fantasy XVI on PlayFrame and the Hideaway, which, again, we are leaving. We've a new place to go to, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a new... Yes, it is. Hawk's Cry Cliff. From these heathered highlands, one might catch a glimpse of Rosalith Castle and everything else in between. We go! Southern Rosaria.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Finally, Jill, you've got your own thing. Thank God. Bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Sounds like a plan. But yeah, no, I'm very thrilled seeing Jill have a thing that she, that she is wanting to be proactive about on her own, that is not just the same thing that Clive and others around her are pushing for. Because thus far, she's mostly just kind of been standing in the background, agreeing most of the time, and not really saying or contributing a whole lot. So it's nice her having her own thing that she cares about. Some of her own, agency and drive and action in the story. Good. Also, this is entirely unrelated, but it's a thing that Carrie mentioned, and now I can't stop thinking about it. How old is Torgal now? Because the dog was a puppy how many years ago? Hold on. No, we're not going to be able to pull it up here. Unless Torgal just happens to be... Alas. Odds weren't good. Torgal was a puppy when we were a little teenager. I think 13 years passed, and then we ran into Torgal again. And then 5 more years passed. So 18 years is an old dog. Is there something fancy and special going on with Torgal? Torgal, are you a dominant? You have to tell us if you're a dominant. Or are you something else fancy and magical? You do have a bracelet. You're very big. Torgal? Sorry, are you looking at the bees? I hate the bees too, Torgal. It's okay. Anyway. I think I'm going the wrong way. Here's a thought. I was going to say I would mount up, but I want to be able to, hop off to do fights and things like that. But now that I think about it, am I the only one who gets to ride a chocobo, or do the chocobo's friends show up for Jill and Torgal? You can just run beside, and so can Jill, I guess? Oh, good. No, you do have a bird. Phenomenal. Sorry, Torgal, you can't have one. They don't make saddles for dogs that I'm aware of.
Careful.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Well, this is nice. Hello, fellow birds.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right.
What?
I heard you the first time.
Didn't catch most of that. Also, I think I'm about out of
You're
potions.
a long way from home, aren't you?
Maybe. Nosy. Increase limit break generation amount by 6%. That's such a small amount. Given we've only got 3 slots for accessories, I really wish these were way more, like, impactful. Maybe there's a way to, like... I've not really experimented with, like, upgrading these yet. Maybe there's a way with, like, the blacksmith, either now or later on, where you can, like, really upgrade these with materials you get from hunts and stuff like that to, like, make them way better versions of themselves, which, that would be rad. And then the value of spending 24,000 gil on a thing that gives you a 6% boost to limit break generation would make total sense, because that's a great investment. As it is, though. I'll take the potions, thanks.
There you are.
Thank you.
Keep to the roads now.
Let's speak with several villagers. I choose you.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits.
Good to
You have
know.
be dull as a sack of stones to think you could tell.
Anyone else feel chatty? You look chatty.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shield. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
But what do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harbouring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
I do catch fire a lot. Maybe I've developed a reputation.
Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift, But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pole.
Then we shall be on our way.
You make fair points.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosaria would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
I would mount up, but this is looking like a bit of a narrow pass.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Such pessimism. Come on, Jill. Oh, no, you're right.
Ever since the apology tree, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The Mother Crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
You're finished!
Break them. There we are. Oh, more of you, is it? Fine, 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 fine. Hey, enjoy this. Fight over. Long cooldown, but worth it. And that move heals me, too. Makes sense the cooldown is long. Die, 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 die. Die, I says. Thank you. Good shot, Jill. Ah, humans is... Dead humans is... Hello, hello. Oh, there's an unfortunate one. Gotcha. Boy, you did go flying, huh? Bring those down here. That's enough. Come on. And you. Let's go. Come on.
Make it look easy.
That's very far. Oh, okay. I see. I was about to say. Gimme, 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 gimme. Hey, come on! You tricked me, spiders. What a good little trap you've set. Such industrious little spiders. Dead now, but props to the spiders for their very good ambush.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then? We owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation.
And yet you're still talking.
To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria.
Have some of that.
To me! Die! There's more!
Sturdy one, huh? There we go. Come on, Jill, you got him. Oh, he missed. Well.
Get him!
Good dog. What did we learn?
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Let's scoot. Come on, use your muscles.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
suppose it does make sense to try to prevent more harm if there's the possibility.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosaria.
You all friendly? Or friendly adjacent? Ish?
Didn't happen to come by way of Old Hill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morn, you couldn't see the sun for all the ravens.
Sounds about right.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
Hush now. You didn't hear nothing.
Hopefully no one needs this. It's 10 bloody hides. Not likely. I don't know why I need this.
They tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage back to our homes.
In honor of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. And that, I take it, is how we would get there, maybe? What does the map say? Old Hill Docks. This way toward Quiet Sands, and our ultimate destination.
We won't survive another night.
Yeah, where's this lead?
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
Gotcha. Okay.
Closed. Become.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
You find no succor to the south travellers, nor beyond the Buet. The Empire has seen fit to banish us from our own land.
Looks like we got a bit of a trip. Let's mount up.
This is no time to ride.
Oh. Never mind then. Now let's mount up. Good bird.
Yeah.
No. Get out of here, crab. Oh, this is a pretty big place.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
All closed off?
We should start with the main gate and see where that gets us.
That's pretty closed off.
That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass!
My children are starving!
Have mercy. Viceroy's dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here!
Oh, get enough
Fuck off! Hang the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all! Bleeding horse! I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties! Cut you down where you stand! Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
Black light burns. I'm guessing it's neither abandoned nor
The
safe.
good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
In we go. Yep.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
Well, who's this group then? They've agreed upon a color palette.
Or not.
Any of y'all mind telling me who you're with? Just bandits? Oh, come on. All right, I'm gonna keep hitting you till one of you hurries up and says who you're with.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
5.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
That's what I wanted to do from the start, I'm just saying.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we.
Make ready.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
Although do stand a good 50 yards away, Sir Wade, we can turn into gods sometimes.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
How are y'all doing?
I suppose we owe you our thanks. He's not dead. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
You're welcome.
You're telling me that's the Archduke's...
Never try that again.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buick Bridge, and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Oh, why not? As long as I'm out here. Throughout the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. Okay. So you're another companion who can join in. Lovely. So, who am I currently accompanied by, then? Well, Torgal, always. But, okay, so we got our party members, which is Clive, Torgal, and Jill, and now we've also got a guest. Okay. Gotcha. Anything else here I should see? Doesn't seem like it.
Don't you worry. May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
I could go for a battle on a bridge.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Hey, let's mount up. This could take a while otherwise. Come on, Ambrosia. We run. And maybe we stop. Everything okay? Pardon me?
I got me sideways. How was the Black Shields?
Don't like the sound of that.
Come along now.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
I probably better hop off. You stay here, bird. Clive's got some business.
What is it now? I told you! We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame!
Well, we'll see.
Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
Your petty revolution ends here.
We'll see.
On these our swords we swear.
Okay, well. We'll see how you're feeling after a little of this. Any second thoughts yet?
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Oh, come on.
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Ow. Ouchies. Get grabbed.
The Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
Let's wear through all the rest of your stagger bar and continue the gouging. Got that one.
It's over.
And you, come on. There we go. Oh boy.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
This dude is the equivalent of someone who thinks they win an argument just because they managed to make someone they were arguing with upset.
Too slow.
Oh boy, Dragoons are fun to fight in this game. I like it. Enjoy that.
Nice try.
And you down. I'm told using gouge when they're dropped makes a lot of sense, because then it drives up that multiplier on damage a good bit, which makes a lot of sense.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
I'm trying. Do you not see the damage I'm putting out? Wait. Ow. Youchies. Thanks, dog.
Help me, boy.
And you are donezo. You just don't know it yet. Although it's probably starting to dawn on you.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud! Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
Making progress. I have no idea how far in the game we are at this point. With 2 time skips, it's really hard to gauge. And if we're marking progression by how many of the big crystals we've taken out, we're still very early.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
You accept the burnt blade from Wade. Thanks, Wade.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
Port Isolde. Rossfield Manor.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rossfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue!
No one here's a very good host.
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint and the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
I like him.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
By your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Well, there's no way he's long for this world, but I like him.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days. Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
It's so nice seeing this, for sure. Like, I love seeing the character emerging from her. I love seeing more what motivates her, just getting more from her is lovely. It is coming way late, and we'll land here and see if anything's gonna happen right away before I go on a ramble. Anyway, back to the hideaway.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. but Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
We'll go with speak with Vivian next time. I was just sort of thinking, like, I've been thinking kind of over the weekend of...
One way or another.
I've been lamenting that Jill just had nothing to contribute to the story thus far. Either on a personality or like a motivation or like character front. Like, thus far, up until around this point, you could pretty easily have removed her from the story and very little would change. Which was bumming me out, and I was trying to think of like what would I want that would be different. And granted, there's plenty of game left. I have no idea like where they go with Jill, so it may be that what I'm kind of like thinking here wouldn't end up working. But I kind of been having the thought of like, Jill should have been the new Sid. Like, if I'm thinking of how I'm going to alter how the story played out up to this point to make her more of a proactive character in the story and give her more of her own stake in what's going on and more to do and more things that she cares about that aren't just yes-anding what everybody else around her cares about. Like, when she kind of came to and was able to move about again, was all recovered back at Sid's hideaway, she should have, as a character, I think, been way more proactively into what Sid was doing and Sid's whole goal. Like, Clive, obviously, it makes sense that he's not. Clive has got his own thing that he's wrapped up in, his revenge quest that he is way too busy with to really invest all that heavily in what Sid is saying. And then afterwards, he's dealing with all the self-loathing, and then, like, he's got a lot going on, being this mythos vessel thing who can absorb these powers. There's a lot that's going on with Clive. She could, in theory, I think, like, while he is kind of like helping out, but still kind of distracted, dealing with his own stuff, she could have been more proactively being a character who is increasingly very invested in what Sid is trying to do. Maybe as a way to atone for what her, like, past monstrous acts, the way she sees it. When Clive and her are going back through Rosaria and seeing the way bearers are treated horribly, like, they could both be kind of having the realization of how awful the world is being to bearers and like coming around the way they do, but she could be the one who is having more of those moments of recognition and realization. She should be the one that when Sid lays out the plan to destroy Mother Crystals, she's the one who plants the dagger in it with him. And Clive is like, yeah, I'm there to help out too, but he's got his own baggage and stuff he's still dealing with. She is wholly committed to the cause, so that when Sid dies, she ends up becoming the new Sid, and she's got her own thing to do in this world and in this story. They both care about the plight of the bearers. They both want to work toward a common goal, but they're both coming at it kind of with their own motivations, their own things that are going on, and their own things they care about. And maybe if she doesn't, like, if she was not to become Sid, the public figure that Clive is being here, even though I think that would be cool, she could then maybe become the strategist of this whole hideaway, figuring out all what their larger plans are and how to make them all come together, what their next step should be. And Clive, as this unnaturally powerful being who is just absorbing icons and gaining their strength, is the muscle. He's the person who is most likely to be able to, by force, achieve these goals. And so they're working together, bringing their own strengths and their own things. That's the sort of thing that I would have been wanting more from her, for her to have her own things she cares about and motivations and her own just momentum and agency in the story. I'm glad that that is emerging. That is great. So I'm happy to see what comes of it. But the more I thought about it, the more I sort of wished that she'd there was room and opportunity for her to have some of that sooner, and even more than now. And I don't think it would even conflict with what they're wanting to do with her here, having her regrets about what she became while she was a prisoner. Very curious to see where they go with that. Anyway, let's go ahead and call it a day, because I think we're going to have some side things to do before we get ourselves out to new locations. So let's start taking care of those next time. Take care till then. Bye!